Hello and welcome to Modern Broadcast. In today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at the ROG Republic of Gaming Ally Handheld. This handheld just came out recently and we got our hands on one. Let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. Alright, so here we have the box and got this nice kind of metallic looking nice etching of the device here. Looks like we have two analog sticks, a D-pad, two front-facing speakers, a nice big screen here in the middle. Looks like we got some grips on the side, our A, B, X, Y buttons. Start and select, also with some menu option buttons here, and some triggers. On the top of the box, doesn't look like there's much here, just the ROG Ally. And on the back, we just have some specifications and like serial number for this. So let's go ahead and get this box open. Alright, taking our handy dandy kniff here, we're going to go ahead and open this up. Alright, and here we have it. This is really nice actually. Let's go ahead and get this handheld out. And we'll set this aside for now. Included inside the box on the left hand side, it looks like we have our power adapter. Go ahead and pull this out. Looks like it's going to be Type-C. This is very similar to the Steam Deck power cable that came with that device. On the right hand side of the box, looks like we're going to have our what is that? Looks like warranty information and other little pamphlets on the handheld. And put that back. Is there anything else? Nope, doesn't appear to be. So I think that's it. Let's go ahead and button this back up. And we'll take a look at the handheld. Alright, and here we have it. Let's go ahead and pick this up. It's actually quite comfortable in the hand. A little bit smaller than the Steam Deck. Really feels nice. We have some instructions here to plug it in. Before we boot it up for the first time. This is exactly like the Steam Deck was, for those of you that remember. Let's go ahead and remove this plastic and really see what this is like. There we go, now we can see. Wow. So it's got some good weight to it, but it's really comfortable. It's really kind of designed for really your hands. It's a different feel than the Steam Deck, but overall, really solid in the hands. So it looks like we got dual thumbsticks that click in, a D-pad. I don't know if I like that. The D-pad feels a bit squishy, I guess is kind of the word I would use. Maybe it's fine. Looks like we got a select and a menu button here, our A, B, X, Y, the two stereo speakers. We got start and another menu button here. On the top of the device here we have our L and R along with our triggers, which is really nice about these is that they're actually textured. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but there's really texture right here and here. Kind of gives it a little bit of grip. That's nice. We also have a 3.5mm headphone jack, micro SD card. They're calling this the mobile interface along with the Type-C here for charging. We also have volume up and down, and our power button. We also have two exhausts on the back here to expel all that heat. Doesn't look like we really have anything on the bottom of the device, just some information. Doesn't appear to be anything on the sides except for a nice shiny sticker. Flipping the device over, looks like we have a nice holographic sticker going down diagonally here. Also, we got this pattern on the bottom. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but that's also very nice. But otherwise, it looks like we got two mouse buttons or extra buttons. We got a air intake on both sides, the holographic sticker. And again, I don't know if it's really picking this up or not. This is very shiny and very kind of that same material. I don't know how to describe it. It's very reflective, I think is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, this is a solid handheld. Let's get a size comparison with the Steam Deck, since that's pretty much what this is being heavily compared to. So here we have a direct comparison with the Steam Deck. So the ROG Ally is a little bit smaller. It is not nearly as wide as the Steam Deck, but you know, the weight is very similar. I think it weighs a little bit less, but I wouldn't think too much, really. I think it's quite hefty for its size. Let's go ahead and do a weight comparison. Here's the Steam Deck, weighing in at 1.75 pounds. And the Ally comes in at 1.57 pounds. So just slightly. Alright, let's go ahead and do our first time boot up with this. Let's get our power cable here. We're going to plug this in at that Type-C port. Again, that's next to that mobility port that they did. I haven't really heard of that before, so we'll have to look into that in a future video. And let's hold the power button. Very nice. We got the thumbsticks lighting up with RGB lighting. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice, but that is very bright, actually. Alright, so there's been a few moments on that RGB logo there, and now we have the Windows logo. And it looks like we're going to be doing the first time setup for Windows. Let's go ahead and start this process. Alright, after following all the on-screen prompts, it looks like it restarts once again. And maybe? Maybe? More setup. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we did all the setup for that one. We did another restart. Thinking about it. Okay, just a moment. More setup. Alright. Neat little side note, the power button also acts as a fingerprint reader. However, it kinda works. And kinda doesn't work. Huh. Oh, come on. Will you just read? Oh, my goodness. Oh, I think we're getting somewhere. Now it looks like we're in the PlayStation 2, and this might take a few minutes. Hey, alright, we did it. So it looks like we control the mouse with the right stick here, and we push in order to click. Oh, interesting. Okay. Just gonna close that. Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. So this is kind of fascinating. This is the Armory Crate, and so this is kind of the default one-stop shop for all of your handheld needs. Looks like you can put applications in here that you're going to frequently use, or game files. You can edit what the buttons do and remap the controls. You can make controller specifics. Just kind of gives you a little tutorial over the handheld. That's pretty nifty, actually. That's quite handy. Oh, and it looks like it already has a couple things here, such as Steam, Xbox, and the game moving out. That's cool. Here's all of our settings that we can mess with. We have everything like operating mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, audio lighting, so we can change the RGB lights, I guess. Resolution, refresh rates. There's all sorts of stuff. Okay. Content. What's that? Okay, so we can see all of our screenshots, recordings, system specifications, and other things. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's try some games out, yeah? Alright, so while I get this handheld loaded up with some games, I'm going to go ahead and test out the buttons. This is a command center button. Gives you quick access to all those settings and change things on the fly, including the brightness. It's pretty handy. That's just our select button for in-games. What does this button do? Oh, okay, it just takes us right back to the armory. Awesome, okay. And it looks like it actually has an update, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and get my Steam all set up. I'm going to go ahead and load up this handheld with some games, so we can do some gameplay testing, just check it out, quick look. And we'll do more in depth in the next video. So let's go ahead and get it set up with some games. All right, and here we have it all connected. And so I'm using an Xbox controller to go ahead and control this. Also, I installed a couple of games that we could test out, and later on we'll do emulation testing. They'll be in a future video. This is just kind of a first take. Let's go ahead and boot up. Let's go ahead and boot up Tunic. That's not what I thought that would do. Okay. I think we're just going to leave those boils.
The next generation of Jedi.
We seek a dangerous fugitive. This is no common anarchist, but a devotee of the treasonous Jedi Order. No! Look at this, a lightsaber.
I was alone for a long time. I was scared that they'd find out who I was, what I was.
And you're not alone. Not anymore.
Hey.
Hope will always survive in those who continue to fight.
I will never forget. We will honor your teaching and your sacrifice.
By the right of the Council, Cal Kestis. Rise, Jedi Knight.
Remember, trust only in the Force.
So where to now?
Alright, so there we have it. Now, the video was chopping pretty much the entire time at 20 frames per second. The CPU is at 11%, while the GPU is at 97, 98. I wonder if we can bring that down by messing with the visuals. Just knock this down to medium. Going down to medium settings, it looks like it kicked it down to 80 to 70. I'm not sure if you could see it, but the battery indicator, so it says battery is now at 66%. When we started this game, the battery was at 90. So, that's one big downfall of this handheld, is that the battery life, I think just about every reviewer is talking about the battery life of it. Now we're getting some audio popping, and audio stuttering.
Sarah's on lockdown. State your business.
Show
Believe the rumors. A Jedi. We brought him in alive.
the senator is expecting us.
You're clear to move along. We want to keep the senator waiting. Yeah. We should die like the rest of your kind, traitor.
Alright, first time gameplay, let's see.
Deals change. Not this one. I come along, we walk. Only you. The others must wait.
Your wrist.
That's enough.
So where'd you find him?
My purpose. He was struck by a train of electroproton officer at Chadwick Armstead.
How'd you make the arrest?
Did I have to slave same as us?
When the senator gets a hold of you, you'll wish you were dead.
Always nice to meet a fan.
This way.
So, I mean, it's definitely doable. We are definitely killing the battery really fast. We were at 100, then we were at 66, now we're at 44%. So the battery life is really going to depend... Oops. The battery life is really going to depend on what you're doing and what you're playing. A quick little side note here is, here's the top cover, and if you flip it over, they actually include a little stand. Now, it's not really quality or anything, but it's kind of just a nice little feature. While this is installing the EA app, a couple things that I will say is the first night in playing with this device, it was late at night, I was trying to install, Steam, trying to get the Xbox app to work properly. There was some finagling back and forth a little bit. It's Windows, but it's kind of like this weird variation of Windows. So it kind of behaves a little bit differently. And the touchscreen, I wasn't a big fan of using my hands. I definitely prefer using the controller. You control it with the right stick to move around. And you click that stick in order to click on things. Which it's not the buttons on the back like, I thought it was, and it wasn't the triggers, which is the next thing that I thought it might be. No, you click in the right stick to do a mouse click. So, other than that, it looks like we have to restart here. Part of it might be that my fingers are a little bit too big. When I try to push buttons on the screen and like I'm trying to click on it, I've noticed that it takes me a couple times before it registers my fingers. I don't know if that's the device. I don't know if it's my finger. I have no idea. It's just not as smooth as it could be. The other thing with the device, so the second day that I was testing out this handheld, and it might even be right here, this thing and its power is interesting. So I registered the account, I got Windows all set up, and the second day of testing, it would not let me sign in at all. Here we just did a restart. It started the reboot process, and now it's off. So and there was no editing for that. That was all live. Everything you just saw, I'm talking, and it just started the reboot, and then said, you know what, no, I'm good. This is a beautiful handheld. When it works, it's nearly perfect. You're able to play Windows, games on it. It can really handle a lot. It's got a lot of power behind it. There are just moments. I don't know what happens when this device boots up. It just kind of does things. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. What are your thoughts on the ROG Ally? Stay tuned because we are going to be doing more deep dives into this handheld, looking at different emulators and also PC games running on the device, and maybe even a setup tutorial. Have a great week, everyone, and take care.